5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go! This project starts with a box of goodies from Corgi. It's the 60th anniversary of Thunderbirds. I love Thunderbirds and I planned this massive Tracy Island diorama a couple of years ago, but it was just too big. It was going to be like the size of a spare room to get everything in scale. So when they said, did I want to do something for the anniversary? I was like, of course, count me in. So they sent me not just great die-cast models of Thunderbirds 1, 2, 3, 4 plus Fab 1, but also this box of arts and crafts materials to make my own Blue Peter style Tracy Island. The challenge is on. The package came with detailed instructions on how to make your own Blue Peter style Tracy Island. Now, Blue Peter's a UK TV show where they make stuff out of fairy liquid bottles and paper mache. I don't actually remember them making Tracy Island because I'm too old. But I do remember Blue Peter from my childhood, and I also just was totally daunted by how long these instructions were. So I decided that instead of doing a Tracy Island that was going to be really big and square and wouldn't fit anywhere, I was going to do a bookshelf diorama that was more of a pastiche and showed off these amazing models. But if I wasn't going to make Tracy Island, what could I use as a theme? And I decided I love the logo. So I made these 3D print letters. Yes, I know it's a Blue Peter style and I'm cheating, but I 3D print design for a living okay, and it was just easier than doing them in card. And I have to say, I really love how they came out. I really like the go. It's really big and chunky. You don't really see much of the Thunderbirds when it's in place, but yeah, I like them. I made myself a Blue Peter rule that I would not buy anything for this project. So this is Army Painter spray primer that I already have. And this is Halford's matte black spray paint. Now, you might notice a little piece is just snuck in there. That was an existing STL that I had already designed for my big Tracy Island project. And I cut out the swimming pool bit of it just because I couldn't be bothered to cut it out in card. But I promise you, these are the only things that I did that was cheating. Honest. The first thing I made was a box to put it all in. I'm using this PVC board that I have because it doesn't warp, and I hot glued it all together. I mocked up where I wanted everything, and when I was happy I cut out some sandpaper to use as the runway for Thunderbirds 2 and the road for Fab 1. I scrunched it up for some texture and glued it in place with the glue they gave us. A few weights held it down, and when it was dry I used foil to add textures. First on the backdrop for the underwater Thunderbird 4 area going on the right, and secondly just everywhere else. To add extra texture I used the sawdust they provided, except it's actually wood shavings and it was like plastering on grated carrot. Foil may be great for adding in quick contours, but nothing really sticks to it unless you treat it. Now, I've just plastered it in white glue in the past. For this, I was using up some matte Mod Podge that I have mixed in with some brown acrylic paint. I repurposed the green crepe paper from palm trees to underwater weed, and I covered it with gloss Mod Podge on both sides to give it the gloss it needed. I used the matte black paint plus the spray white primer to put black in the middle and round the base. That's going to be space. And on the right is going to be underwater, and on the left is going to be sky. I used a dilute cerulean blue for the sky and just dabbed it to make it look mottled. The space element is done with Payne's Grey. It's a dark bluey black. And I also painted the bases of all the letters. They're kind of on sticks to get them to the right height. And I painted those the same colour. Now I'm going to splatter the back with white to give the stars effect. So I put all of the letters in place so I could spatter the black that's underneath on them to also get the same effect. With the letters out, I then spattered the back. I even created a nebula by accident. Thunderbird's letters got 2 coats of scarlet acrylic paint, and the Go got the same in green. Finally, I tinted the top of the space area with violet thin acrylic paint. The Goody Box came with 4 colours of paint and I was determined to use them all. The kind of dark green, as they called it, went in the sea area. The brown covered up any foil and wood shavings. The roads got a grey. And finally, when the brown was dry, I did some green. But while the brown was drying, I painted the underwater section using this. It's a colour from a different project called Ice. It was a bit strong at the top, so I thinned it out and covered the area. Thunderbird 2 has palm trees along its runway, and they gave us these brownish pipe cleaners, and I had these green ones sat from, I don't know, I just bought them sometime and I managed to find them, which was impressive. So I used those to make the palm fronds and I twisted everything together. No glue used. I then just hot glued them in place. It's time to add a bit more foliage in there. First up, I cut out the weed and glued some magnet wire in place with hot glue to give it some stiffness before bending and gluing in place. And that's the Blue Peter bit done, really. But I really hate the wood shavings. So in comes this pot of stuff ripped off previous layouts. It's all greenery and I'm just going to glue it in place. I only used what was in the pot. There were some leftover bushy type things, 2 colours of grass. So the greener grass went on the right and the sort of dirtier, browner grass went in the middle. Time to get the Thunderbirds in. First up, some blue card as water, a sauce pot upturned and a little bit of polyfibre for Thunderbird 1's launch. I'll light it underneath with a balloon lamp for the final photos. Thunderbird 3 got 2 loops of fishing line with some hot glue. But Thunderbird 4 was more problematic. I was going to put it on this straw with a magnet, but die-casts aren't magnetic. Who knew? So instead I had to make a little platform out of the corrugated green card and then cover it in gloss Mod Podge covered crepe paper. And we're done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go! This has been such a fun build, so thank you to Corgi for sending me the box of goodies. I've had great fun doing this. If you enjoyed it, you can check them out. I think it's the Thunderbirds 60th anniversary set. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye!